Welcome to the next session of week 4. It's about video 2. So students, this is what we have studied in the last week, in the last video session. And just a second. And this is what we have studied in the last week as well. Okay, students, this is what we have studied. We are on process centered. We have discussed about the process centered and we were discussing about the TQM. And in TQM, we have focus on the customer, employee involvement, process centered, integrated system, strategic and systematic approach and all that. So this is what we have to, and we have discussed about the focus on customer, employee involvement and process centered. Sorry, now integrated system, when we are talking about integrated system, so integrated system के point of view से we have right now we have discussed about it. That means overall जितना भी overall आपका system है वो synced होना चाहिए, integrated होना चाहिए, whatever you are doing. Integrated system help the company to look for continual improvement in order to achieve an edge over the competition. That means overall it's very good. Overall synced होना चाहिए, integrated होना चाहिए, just for the sake of continual improvement in order to achieve the edge over the competition. So you can get the edge over the competition. Strategic and systematic approach. A strategic and systematic approach क्या कहती है जी? Strategic plan must embrace the integration and quality development, and the development are the services of an organization. So strategic and systematic approach की जब हम बात करते हैं तो that means strategic plan में definitely we have to go for a plan for the long term. So again we have to see overall एक systematic way of managing the thing होना चाहिए, and that must embrace the integration and quality development. Overall, you have to integrate and integrate it with the quality development, and the development are services of the organization. So you have to make the strategies in a systematic way in which we have to integrate each and every process, each and every step to get the quality of the product. So basic purpose ये है कि हमारा strategic plan ऐसा होना चाहिए जिसमें overall हम system को integrate करें and we just want to get the quality of the product. Decision making based on the facts. Next one is about decision making. That means at right time we have to take the right decisions on the basis of facts and figures. It's very important. So decision making within the organization must only be based on the facts and not on the opinion, emotions, and personal interest. And data should support this decision making process. So again, this is very important कि आपका जो भी data, facts and figures होने चाहिए, supportive होने चाहिए with your decisions, and that must be on the basis of your ओवरऑल जो आपका एनालिसिस और डिसीजन है वो फैक्ट्स एंड फिगर्स की बेस पे होना चाहिए. Communication must be formulated in such a way that it is in line with the mission, vision and objective of the organization. Again, this is the same thing that we have studied over here. Whatever we are doing, it must be aligned with the mission, vision and strategy of the organization. So that means it's about communication. Properly we have to communicate continuous improvement. When we are talking about continuous improvement, proposals will be initiated and implemented so that the organization can develop into a higher level of quality. So overall, day by day, you have to improve your proposals, and you have to improve whatever you are doing, so through which you can improve the quality of the product. So if you want to improve you want to get the higher level of quality, for that reason, you have to go for continuous improvement. So this one is about TQM that we have discussed about overall total quality management. This is how we can get the quality of the product. We can improve the overall quality of the organization. Next concept is about organizational behavior, right? When we are talking about behavioral approach or behavioral management, this one is about what we can say. Okay, this is behavioral approach. Quantitative approach हम देख चुके हैं. Now, what is basically behavioral approach? Organization behavior की जब हम बात करते हैं, the field of study that observes the actions, behavior of people at work is called organizational behavior. That means at any time when we want to observe the study or when we want to observe something, the actions, behavior of the people at work is called organizational behavior. When you want to observe the actions, and that action is basically linked with the behavior of the people. वो वाली स्टडी जिसमें आप लोगों के एक्शंस को, लोगों के बिहेवियर को स्टडी करते हैं, वो रिसर्च वर्क, वो वाली फील्ड जिसमें स्टडी किया जाता है एक्शन एंड बिहेवियर ऑफ द पीपल, उसको हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर कहते हैं. मच ऑफ व्हाट we can say much of what managers do today when managing people. So when we are talking about behavior, so behavior is very important thing is about managing the people. So much of what manager do today when managing the people, motivating, leading, building the trust, and working with the team, managing the conflict and so forth. So has come out of the OB research. So overall organizational behavior research की बात करें तो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा important factor क्या होता है, the way you behave with the individuals, whatever your behavior and whatever the behavior of the you can say employees. So much of what manager do when managing the people means being a manager. When you are managing something, so what you have to do, you have to know how you can motivate the individuals, how you can lead the individuals or the people of the organization, building the trust and working with the team, कैसे team के साथ आप work करेंगे, managing the conflict and so forth. So has come out of the OB research. So that is about what we can say overall organizational behavior concept. Early OB advocates Robert Owen and Hoffmansberg, Mary Parker, Follett, and Chester Burner. These are the four individuals. Those has given the different concepts regarding overall organizational behavior. कि आपका behavior कैसा हो, उसके through we can get the productive output. So that is about what we can say overall Hawthorne studies. Overall organizational behavior. Now next one is about Hawthorne studies. Hawthorne studies again, it's you can say get from, we just it's again linked with the overall organizational behavior. The most important contribution to the OB field came out of the Hawthorne studies. So Hawthorne studies क्या कहता है जी? Again, its contribution toward the field of organizational behavior field. And initially, what's the basic concept is, initially designed by Western Electric industrial engineer as a scientific management experiment, they wanted to examine the effect of various lighting level on worker productivity. So what they want to examine, they just want to examine how you can say various lighting level that will affect the productivity level of the individuals, कि उनकी ओवरऑल प्रोडक्टिविटी पे कैसे इफेक्ट होता है. तो बेसिक पर्पस इस एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन का यही था, इस फील्ड रिसर्च वर्क का यही था. So experimental findings, productivity unexpectedly increased under imposed adverse working conditions. So इसमें क्या हुआ था, आपकी प्रोडक्टिविटी जो है अनएक्सपेक्टेडली इंक्रीज हुई अंडर इम्पोज्ड एडवर्स वर्किंग कंडीशंस. जो आपकी एडवर्स वर्किंग कंडीशंस थी उसमें भी, और इम्पोज की हुई थी हमने, so उसमें प्रोडक्टिविटी अनएक्सपेक्टेडली इंक्रीजिंग हुई. द फैक्ट ऑफ एक्सपेरिमेंटल फाइंडिंग जो इसकी थी, द फैक्ट ऑफ इंसेंटिव प्लान्स वाज लेस देन द एक्सपेक्टेड. सो ओवरऑल जो इंसेंटिव्स जो प्रोवाइड किए गए थे, दैट वाज लेस देन द एक्सपेक्टेड. ओवरऑल जो इफेक्ट ऑफ इंसेंटिव प्लान्स का था, वो इफेक्ट ओवरऑल बहुत कम था व्हाट दे वर एक्सपेक्टिंग. इंसेंटिव्स होते हैं कि कोई भी हम काम करते हैं उसके अगेन वी हैव टू गिव समथिंग, लाइक वी कैन गिव द एक्स्ट्रा बोनस, वी कैन गिव द मनी, वी कैन गिव द व्हाट वी कैन से अप्रिसिएशन लेटर्स और सर्टिफिकेट्स एंड ऑल दैट. मॉनेटरी इंसेंटिव्स देखें तो मॉनेटरी में हमें डेफिनेटली इन द फॉर्म ऑफ मनी, वो आपकी मॉनेटरी होते हैं. और नॉन मॉनेटरी में आपके पास सर्टिफिकेट्स हो सकते हैं, अप्रिसिएशन हो सकती है. जनरली यू हैव टू से यू हैव डन एक्सीलेंट, यू आर वंडरफुल इंडिविजुअल एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड ऑल दैट. सो कंपैरेटिवली उसका जो इफेक्ट आया इंसेंटिव्स का, दैट वाज नॉट एज पर द एक्सपेक्टेशन, बट प्रोडक्टिविटी वाज वेरी गुड. रिसर्च कंक्लूजन, social norms, group standards and attitudes more strongly influence individual output and work behavior than do monetary incentives. वो कह रहा है कि ओवरऑल जो रिसर्च कंक्लूजन आया इसमें, दे जस्ट वांट टू फाइंड आउट कि आपका वर्किंग बिहेवियर कैसे इफेक्ट करता है, वेदर मनी इफेक्ट करती है या ओवरऑल बिहेवियर इफेक्ट करता है. जस्ट लाइक जैसे आप एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम कर रहे हैं, तो आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर डेफिनेटली यू हैव टू पे एवरीवन, लेकिन पे करने के अलावा वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज अबाउट योर कल्चर, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज अबाउट द बिहेवियर ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल. वन ऑप्शन, जैसे मैंने आपको क्लास में भी हमेशा समझाती रहती हूँ, कहती रहती हूँ, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है योर मेंटल सेटिस्फेक्शन. इफ यू आर लाइक आप किसी पे इम्पोज कर रहे हैं और उसके साथ एटीट्यूड अच्छा नहीं है, फॉर द टाइम बीइंग तो वो आपको काम करके दे रहा है, बट लेटर ऑन आपके ओवरऑल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर आपके जो व्हाट वी कैन से कोलीग्स के साथ, आपके हायर लेवल मैनेजमेंट के साथ आपके रिलेशंस अच्छे नहीं रहते, और जब रिलेशंस अच्छे नहीं होते हैं तो देन यू डोंट वांट टू टॉक टू देम, एंड देन ओवरऑल जो आपकी व्हाट वी कैन से आउटपुट है वो रिड्यूस हो जाती है विद इन टाइम, एंड यू जस्ट वांट टू स्विच समवेयर एल्स, यू डोंट वांट टू वर्क ओवर देयर. So same case over here कि उनको incentive plans in the form of monetary rewards दिए गए, बट ओवरऑल उसकी जो what they were expecting वो बहुत कम था, अफेक्ट जो था बिकॉज ऑफ मॉनिटरी रिवॉर्ड्स. जनरली आपने ये देखा कि अगर एडवर्स वर्किंग कंडीशंस के साथ इम्पोज करके प्रोडक्टिविटी को इंक्रीज किया जाए तो अनएक्सपेक्टेडली वो इंक्रीज हुई थी. सो व्हाट दे फाउंड आउट, they just find out social norms, group standards or attitude that affect your overall output very strongly. So this is one of the very important thing कि overall आपका जो behavior है वो आपके output पे बहुत affect होता है. This is one of the very important thing. So mental satisfaction, job satisfaction is one of the most important thing when we are talking about overall concept of the you can say organizational development and organizational behavior, because as already we have discussed in the class, जनरली एक आध क्लास के साथ मैंने डिस्कस किया था कि आपकी जो डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिसको हम कहते हैं ओडी, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल डेवलपमेंट, दैट इज ऑलवेज लिंक विद द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर. That means development of the individual as well, link it with the organizational individuals development. कि जब आपकी इंडिविजुअल की डेवलपमेंट ग्रोथ होती है तो उसके साथ आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की भी होती है, एंड दिस इज व्हाट योर हायर लेवल मैनेजमेंट हैज टू थिंक आल्सो. So this one is about our this session. Now in third session we will discuss about the contemporary approaches, right? So thank you so much for this session. Now let's start with the next one. इसको हम complete करते हैं. Thank you class.